What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm doing another interesting video, I think. Man City's 2023 treble winning team, where are they now? Did this with Bayern Munich's 2020 team. That would be interesting. Gonna go through their starting 11 from the Champions League final along with the bench. And yeah, obviously, they're only the second English team to win the treble, being the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, and the first one in like 25 years or something. Now in goal on that day in I believe it was Turkey was Edison, who is now at Fenerbahce, also in Turkey. He obviously left at the beginning of this season after they bought like Donnarumma and Trafford, and they kind of just wanted to get a new goalkeeper, and they decided to buy two. And yeah, now he is in Fenerbahce. Now he's in Turkey playing for Fenerbahce after playing at Man City for a number of years. He was their goalkeeper, I think, from about 2017 until just last year. So what's that, like 8 years, something like that? Yeah. Now they played three at the back. So the first centre back is Manuel Akanji, who has now just moved to Inter Milan as well at the beginning of this season. I mean, obviously they bought a couple new centre backs in like January, and you know, I guess they just wanted to phase out some of the older members of the Man City team now in Italy with Inter Milan. The second centre back playing on that day was Ruben Dias, who was obviously still at Man City, still doing fairly well for them now. I feel like the hype for him has kind of fallen off. Like, I remember when he first signed, he won like Player of the Season in like his first year, or Young Player or something, in like 2021. And then like he's obviously good, but like he was like touted as like the next best centre back ever, and just isn't that good, I feel. Next up, the last centre back of the back three was Nathan Ake, who was also still at Man City. Obviously, joined them in 2020 after Bournemouth's relegation, and has been there ever since. Obviously, not their like starting centre back anymore, but still plays a role there as well. Next up, they played like sort of two holding mids. One of them was John Stones. Yeah, I remember like he'd just play in midfield sometimes, which is a bit random. But yeah, John Stones obviously been a bit out of luck with injuries and whatnot. But in a World Cup year, he'll be looking to get some game time this year to try and make the England World Cup squad and, help Man City win the league perhaps. Now, next to him, another man with injury problems recently is Rodri. Ever since he won the Ballon d'Or, then he like tore his ACL, then he came back. Now he's like done his hamstring or something. Like, this guy can't catch a break, and I'm just interested to see when he does come back and he gets a good run, will he actually be as good? Because right now, hasn't played like a consistent run of games in over a year, and Caicedo and Rice have been the best sort of players in his position ever since then. So can he, prove he's better than them when he comes back? Next up, playing on the right, I believe, was Bernardo Silva, still at Man City, their captain this year, which is a bit unexpected, I'd say. But yeah, obviously probably not quite to the levels he once was. Still a very good player, though, still at Man City, and still clearly a key part of Pep's ideas, considering he made him captain. Next up, a man who also left Man City in the most recent transfer window, Kevin De Bruyne, now at Napoli. Basically looks like he's still at Man City, same color shirt. I believe he like got injured taking a penalty or something like a couple weeks ago, so that's rough. But him and McTominay could be a dynamic duo, especially after McTominay's like legendary performances where he just scores in every game as well. And next to him in the midfield, a man who was the captain at the time, I believe, Ilkay Gundogan, obviously left Man City after that season to Barcelona, then came back for a season. Now he's gone to Galatasaray in Turkey at the beginning of this season. Obviously, didn't play as much when he came back last year after a not great year at Barcelona, but I mean, Galatasaray have a very good team this year. Like, I think they could make a good Champions League run. I'll be real. They got Gundogan, they got Osimhen, and they got Sane. Like, that's a good base where they could genuinely push on to do well. I mean, they beat Liverpool, so that's a good start. And then finally, second to last, playing on the left, a man who has also left Man City, only on loan though, Jack Grealish. I believe this was his first year there, it might have been his second year, and he was actually fairly good that year. Then he kind of just didn't get as much game time in the couple years after that. Now at Everton, doing really well, one player of the month, and I hope he goes to Everton permanently at the end of the season, or someone that a bit, I want to say lower level, but not Man City, someone who will let him play football. Next up, and finally up front, it was Haaland. We all know this guy's a robot, still scoring goals for fun like every week. Now he's off to the World Cup as well, so that's fun. Helped Norway qualify by scoring a goal like every game. And Jack, I mean, the only way I can see him leaving Man City is if they get like their not fines, like points deductions and get relegated for their charges. And then finally, I guess, was the bench for that day. Some interesting names in there. Ortega's still there as like a third choice keeper. Carson is retired. Kyle Walker at Burnley. Laporte, I believe, is at Athletic Club. Sergio Gomez, another interesting one. Rico Lewis still there. Calvin Phillips. I mean, interesting to see what's happened for him since then. Phil Foden on the bench that day and Cole Palmer on the bench. Obviously now at Chelsea doing well. Phil Foden did have the best assist of all time the other day for Eze's goal. Julian Alvarez, who you say is probably one of the best strikers in the world now at Atletico Madrid, and Riyad Mahrez, who is at Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. And yeah, that is the end of the video. That was Man City's treble winning team and a bit about what they're doing now. I mean, a lot of them are still at Man City because it was obviously only 2 years ago, but I thought it'd be interesting to look at what's happened then, since they've kind of been a bit of like a redevelopment phase recently. They obviously had a bad season last year, and they're kind of shifting out some of the older players for some new young ones. And yeah, thanks for watching.